This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one website building platform. Hi friends! Last week I talked about trends and fashion I'm loving right now. So today we have sort of the companion video to balance the scales of things that are trendy right now that I will not be buying or wearing, and why. This is, of course, just how I feel about these items. It's mostly just things that are not my style for one reason or another. So if you love them and they're totally your style, please keep wearing them and know that I do not think you are any less stylish. I just think, it's nice to have a reason to think twice before shopping, have a little reminder that just because something is trending doesn't mean you have to integrate it into your wardrobe. You can 100% just skip it. So here are the current trends I'm passing on. The first one I actually mentioned in last week's video because I said I'm enjoying longish denim shorts that fall a couple inches above the knee, but conversely, I am really not into the baggy, super long jorts that fall to the knee or longer that I keep seeing on Pinterest. I don't know if I'm just not edgy or cool enough for these, but I just feel completely confident that I would look absolutely ridiculous in them. I just think it's a pretty awkward length that would really emphasize my shortness. And I also think part of the issue for me is that they're usually worn really slouchy and low rise, which also makes the crotch of the pants hang lower too. So overall, I just think it makes the waist and hips look lower and the legs look shorter than they are, which on me and my short legs, I just think would look very odd and disproportionate. Next, we have one of the biggest, dare I say, defining trends of this summer, stealth wealth / quiet luxury / old money. I know there are distinctions, but they're all under the same umbrella, and I'm skipping all of them. The thing about this one is I actually have no issue with the look itself. It's a bit preppy and a bit plain for me personally, but I feel like it's classic. It never looks bad. However, what I'm passing on is aspiring to this look to purposefully emulate or signify wealth, particularly old money, generational family wealth, which is like unearned wealth that probably came from historical exploitation. That's just not the vibe I'm trying to radiate into the world. And the reality is this isn't actually how rich people dress anyway. I mean, the whole point of stealth wealth and quiet luxury is that rich people wear totally normal looking clothing that just costs hundreds or thousands of dollars. Hence the quiet and stealthy part. So dressing in this traditional preppy style isn't so much dressing like an actual rich person, and more dressing to convey that you value wealth and institutions and status, which I try not to, so it's not something I want to convey with my style. Also, I do just want to clarify, I am not trying to say that everyone who dresses in these like classic preppy outfits has these values at all. If you like looking classic and polished and pretty minimal, I am passing no judgment on your character based on that at all. I'm just not into the idea of intentionally seeking out this style for the purpose of trying to look like someone that has generational wealth, if that makes sense. The next current trend that I am passing on is another cultural touchstone of the summer, the absolute phenomenon that is Barbie. This one is really just because it feels so not me. I've actually been loving seeing everyone else's full pink Barbie inspired outfits all over the internet. They can be so fun and cute. I especially love the campy ones. I love an exaggerated reference. But one thing I have realized about myself is that I very rarely wear solid, vibrant pink. And it's strange because I like pink, I have it in my home decor, and I don't think it looks bad on me, but I just very rarely wear it. I think it just doesn't really feel like me for whatever reason. So that kind of excludes Barbiecore from my styling options. In fact, I even considered making a Barbiecore outfits video around the time of the movie premiere, and then realized I own like 2 solid pink clothing items, and even those I don't really wear very often. So I simply have to pass on this one, even though I do think it's really fun. And I did very much enjoy the Barbie movie. Okay, the next trend has been in full swing for like a year or more already, but I have really just never been into it, and it is the rosette choker. This one just looks silly to me. I don't know why, it just looks so silly. Like adding one huge voluminous bulbous object at your neck. I just don't get it. I feel like this is the kind of thing the next generation will look back on and laugh at and be like, why were you guys wearing that? It looks so ridiculous. And like, I'm sure I'm participating in other trends that people will look back on and think look ridiculous. So I'm not sure why I specifically don't like this. I just think it looks so silly. I also think in general, I'm just not super into fabric flowers because I just don't love any fake approximation of a flower where you could use an actual flower. Like, I'm also not into the Lego botanicals. I know that may be sacrilege. People love those. And like, they're beautiful as Legos can be. But at the end of the day, they're Legos, not flowers. And every time I see the Lego botanicals, I just think, how much prettier they would be if they were simply a real bouquet of flowers. So, similarly, with the rosette trend, I think, obviously, I know why you can't do real live flowers for that, but a faux flower that looks like a real flower would be better than a flower that is clearly just made of fabric. Does that make sense? And even then, I'd maybe put it on like a jacket or a skirt or something, but the neck just seems like a bizarre placement for something so voluminous and bulbous, you know? Am I crazy or do other people feel this way? I feel like I'm crazy because everyone seems to love this and think it's really cute, but I just don't get it. So let me know what you think. Next up, we have sort of a tandem trend, another oversized neck accessory. But first, a word from today's video sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is a super intuitive web design platform to get started with any project that you think needs an online presence. I love all the different template options. They are gorgeous, but they are also super flexible, so you can customize the details to exactly what you're looking for. Their next generation website design system, Fluid Engine, also uses drag and drop technology to make all of that customization super straightforward and easy. Squarespace also lets you market and sell through their platform to suit your business needs, with options for digital downloads, physical products, or even exclusive member areas or content on your site. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/beepworld to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Okay, this next trend is those chunky pendant necklaces. I think my main issue with this one is that they're usually made of plastic and have some sort of just string cording, so they just end up looking very cheap to me. Plastic looks cheap, controversial opinion, I know. I mean, I own plastic earrings and some jewelry with plastic beads and stuff, but I just think with this particular style of necklace, it's the combination of like the big plastic pendant and then just the string around the neck, you know? Like if the pendant was more often made of stone or metal, and then the actual necklace part was like a chain or a beaded necklace or something, they could be so much cuter and just have a much better sense of intention and style. But as is, to me, they just look like they were made in 5 seconds and are meant to be discarded, which obviously is a bummer for both style and sustainability. They remind me of those like chunky, colorful plastic rings that were popular for approximately 10 seconds a couple years ago. And where are those now? Nowhere to be seen. Exactly. That said, A, these are definitely not as ugly as those rings, and B, I do feel like I mostly see people getting these ones from thrift stores, so that makes me happy. Okay, the next current trend is also kind of multiple combined together, but I am skipping the micro shorts / bloomers / underwear as pants thing. I'm skipping all of it. This one just seems too naked to me. The bloomers and micro shorts look too much like underwear, which feels naked, and the underwear itself obviously also feels naked. I do think this is more of like a celebrity and influencer trend than like a real regular people trend, because this would probably feel too naked for most people. So ultimately, it's a pretty inconsequential one. Not controversial to say I will not be wearing this. But I do actually think it can look super cute. I've loved seeing how Lainey Ozark has styled this look, and if any normal regular person out there is wearing this, I salute you. And you are slaying. You look very cool and also hot, but I just know I would never feel comfortable wearing this. Not even in an insecure about my body way, but just in an extremely vulnerable and exposed way. Like, you know, the classic nightmare where you get to school or work and then you realize you forgot to put on pants. I think it would feel like that for me. Maybe someday my baseline anxiety levels will be low enough that I can pull this off, but today is not that day. This next one is another set of bottoms that I just cannot ever see myself wearing, and that is, of course, low-rise pants. For those out there who are secure in their midsection and comfortable showing that to the world, once again, I salute you and admire you, but I am not one of you. I simply do not have the body acceptance for that. Additionally, aside from the body image issues, like I mentioned with the big baggy shorts, I am also quite short and have proportionately short legs, so having the waist of my pants be lower just really emphasizes how short my legs are and makes them look even shorter. So I just always prefer the proportions that a high-rise silhouette creates on me. Now that I think about it, even as a kid and young teen when low-rise pants were last popular and I didn't really have body issues yet, I still always opted for more of a mid-rise, because low-rise also just always feels a little risky. Like, you're always in danger of them potentially slipping too low. And as I just discussed, the idea of wearing clothes that make me feel naked and exposed stresses me out. So I think I could definitely do mid-rise again at some point, but it's hard to imagine a world in which I would ever wear low-rise pants again. Of course, as we know, the low-rise pants happening right now are part of the Y2K resurgence. And while I do actually like some of the more androgynous fashion from the 2000s, I feel like one of the most popular looks that has come back from this era is the ultra girly and that is the one I'm skipping. I'm thinking like Regina George, Cher Horowitz, Elle Woods, the uber feminine teen girl look. I think it's super cute, but ultimately anything super uber girly is just not my thing. Which I know might be confusing because I do own some like beautiful, poofy, floofy, frilly white lace items, but A, I would probably always style them with something not girly to sort of balance it out, and B, I definitely also always tend to prefer older looking vintagey items to things that look more modern and contemporary. So I'm much more likely to wear like a poofy white lace baby doll dress than like a bright pink tank top and a mini skirt, you know? And I also think this one comes back to the color pink again. Pink seems to be the central color of a lot of that 2000s girly style. And a lot of it is also kind of preppy, which again ties in with like the old money thing that I'm also not that into. So I guess the combination of like girly, preppy, modern, and pink means the style really just does not feel like me at all, even though it's another one I think looks adorable on other people. It's not even that I think it wouldn't look adorable on me, I just think it wouldn't feel like me, you know? Okay, the next trend I have passed on is cowboy boots, which like the Y2K has been trending for a couple of years already, and at this point is probably sort of waning in popularity. Like there's definitely not so much hype around these things now, but I was just never into the cowboy boots, even though I've loved some of the ways I've seen them styled. They can make some super cute outfits. However, when I was in high school in the 2010s, cowboy boots were also quite popular among students at my high school, just because I'm from like a pretty rural Wisconsin suburb. Like people would drive their tractors to school. Our parking had a whole separate truck lot because so many people drove trucks. And overall, it was just like a very conservative country vibe over there. So that association with cowboy boots was established in my formative years, and now I just can't get into it. Also, I want to clarify, nothing wrong with being from a rural community, working on a farm, anything like that. It's just the traditional conservative values that were a big part of that culture in my hometown have sort of permanently turned me off to things that demographic of my hometown wore. Also, those people didn't even live on farms. A lot of them were just like suburban Republicans cosplaying as farmers. So that's just my personal baggage I'm bringing to this one. I think the cowboy boots are really cute, but I just can't bring myself to wear them. All right, our last trend is not even something I've seen anyone wearing, but it's been all over the runways for fall 2023, and that is feathers. I just know it's going to be on trends lists for this fall and winter, so I'm getting ahead of it now and saying I'm not going to be wearing this. And I don't think normal, regular people are going to be wearing this in droves either, because it is just so impractical. It's so difficult to clean and maintain. It's quite expensive if you actually want it to be like well done and look good. It gets in the way and gets dirty and like messed up very easily. And also, once again, it's just not my style. It feels very glam to me, kind of formal and sexy and feminine, and my style is really none of those things. I guess what this has really come down to is just that I'm skipping trends that aren't my style and don't really feel like me. Who would have thought it's that easy? All right, y'all. Thank you for spending this time with me and listening to me ramble. Please let me know what you think of these trends in the comments, what trends you are skipping right now and why. Give us all a reason to think twice before shopping. And if you do, leave a comment, watch another video such as this one right here that the algorithm thinks you would enjoy, and subscribe to my humble little channel. I heard you will not feel any temptation to shop for any new trend this coming fall. Oh my god, can you imagine feeling no impulse to buy a single trend? Freeing, liberating. I could only wish that I could subscribe to my channel and be granted that power.